Looking at how I first got this Echeveria Jennifer and how I planted it in ground, I wasn't really very knowledgeable about how crested plants behave until the end, where it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I made this big mistake of not planting it deeper. What I should have done really was to divide it and then plant it. So it's just like a bad habit that's gone bad. This is what happened. But look how pretty she still is no matter what. Hi guys, so what happened to my Jennifer is that it just started to crumble, not crumble, but separate, and it just started to break off. And then look at the stem, the skinny part of the stem is just very flimsy. Actually, it's not, but because they were crested and it was like going like this, they started to kind of fall off each other. But my biggest mistake was that when I planted it, this is meant to be broken off, separated, because if it gets too heavy up at the top, then they start to break because of the crested part. The crested part is like really flat and skinny and narrow, you know, to hold up this much weight. So I still have some outside. I'll show you that later. But the ones that are standing out, my biggest mistake was that when I got it, I should have separated. I should have divided that and then planted it a little bit more shallow, like deeper. You know, I could have cut this part right here and then this part right here, because look at all the little roots. There's so many roots and these have been sitting in my garage for a while, for like I would say about a week already. But look at the roots. Look at the roots that are coming out. So really, you can plant this up to here. I would take this one off. I'll break it off right now. Okay, that's fine. Didn't hurt the plant. Then when that heals up, then I can plant this as deep as I want, maybe even to here. Okay, that way this whole heavy load right here will hold up. So, but after I cut this, when I cut this, I mean, I could or don't have to cut it, because I could just bury it like really, really deep in the soil, even if it's in a container or in ground. This will just start rotting, and then once these little tiny, can you see that? Little tiny roots start to get really strong and hold up the plant, then it'll start, you know, making babies again. So one thing that we have to remember is that once it gets too heavy, like section it off right away, because this plant right here is it's such a fast grower. It's just amazing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bury this in ground. Now I have sections that I can sell you guys if you guys are interested. Even this one right here, I can start planting this as a little tiny plant, right? Because there's like roots already forming, and the roots are just coming out so fast. Look at this one. Look at the hairy one. That's so hairy right there. It's all root. Okay, so I will put this on Etsy, what I have available. For something so unique and so rare, this plant right here is just such a prolific grower. And I made sure that I checked for mealybugs. I didn't see any, you know, but look at all the roots in that one. I have some more. I have like, here's a bucket full of this Jennifer that got fallen down because I wasn't, you know, and when I bought it, I figured, okay, they planted it to here. You know, there were roots down at the bottom already. They're probably just as lost as I was when it comes to crested plant. So I'm gonna section all of these off because it's heavy, okay? So when I purchased this, I didn't even know that it was rare because it didn't say rare, but I've been researching online to see if there are any in existence, and there's not. So so I'm going to section these off, okay? And it's gonna be on Etsy. I may sell it this way. I don't know, I haven't made my decision yet, but the fact that when I bought it, there was just literally probably this much in the pot. But just as dumb as I am when it comes to crested, I planted it just like they planted it in the container. I just planted it in ground and went from there. I wasn't really knowledgeable, but now that I'm, you know, my educated guess is that it wasn't planted deep enough to begin with, okay? And that's why it was falling down. And then it needs to be clipped, it needs to be sectioned off and then replanted. That's my mistake. It just grew so fast that, you know, I'm like, oh, a pretty plant, like a bush, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's falling down. I'm like, uh-oh, something's not right. So yeah, that's what my conclusion is about this Jennifer. And then when I tried to hold it up with a rock, it says, I know what I'm doing. Any rock will not hold me up because I am growing this way, like that. It just kept crawling all around, and it was like this. Okay, so guys, if you want a Jennifer, I am going to put it on my Etsy. And this, I believe, they're just gonna be smaller, so they're cheaper, you know, because rare ones are rare, and they're a little bit more expensive. So maybe one like this would be $12, okay? But then you get 1, 2, 3 plants out of it. 3 rare ones that nobody else has, only you do. Okay, that's my spiel. Hope you like it. I'll show you what I got after I plant some of these. I'm going to plant some of these. I'm not going to sell them all. So just whoever gets the first one gets it. Very healthy plants. I do not see one mealybug. I've looked inside, outside, and all that. So that's it. Look at that. And because of all the rain we got this year, also did a number on the bottom. I bet you the leaves will also propagate. Probably not as big, but you know what? You know what I can experiment on is to propagate the leaves and see if the plant is going to be like a regular plant, not a crested one. We can try that. I can propagate some of these leaves. Just the leaves itself. So what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. From one small plant, about this big. The plant was about this big. See how heavy? It's so heavy. It's so top heavy. I mean, I know you can't see it, but you can trust that it is. Ooh, there's one I can propagate. See this? Propagate that. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll come out like a regular Jennifer, not a cristata. I don't know. It might still be a cristata. Cristata is just like crested. It means crested. That's it, guys.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.